you object to migrants who are getting out of the Middle East and North Africa? Do you object to them coming to the USA?
I hate the concept of it, but on a humanitarian basis with what's happening, you have to. You know, this was started by President Obama when he didn't go in and do the job when he should have, when he drew the line in the sand, which turned out to be a very artificial line. But, you know, it's living in hell in Syria. There's no question about it. They're living in hell.
So you would have intervened.
All right, there you go. Welcome to the Malzberg panel. And joining us now is Brad Hirschfield, author of You Don't Have to Be Wrong for Me to Be Right, president of CLAL, and Adam Thompson, senior partner and owner of the law offices of Adam Thompson and criminal defense attorney, talk show host, syndicated talk show host. Hey, Adam, didn't we just do this yesterday, you and I?
It's great to come back to the party.
All right, so Mike Huckabee, at the beginning of the show, said that he disagrees with that. He doesn't believe that you know, it's our responsibility. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I agree with Mike Huckabee. These migrants, many of whom could be terrorists. That's not just my opinion. Frank Gaffney and many others believe the same thing. We have no way of knowing. We have no way of telling. And why should we be taking them in when there's plenty of Muslim countries and Arab countries in proximity to where they are? What are we doing bringing them here? Brad?
So here's the thing. I think that Donald was right and wrong at the same time. They are living in hell.
But he doesn't have to be right for you to be wrong.
They are living in hell, and it is appropriate that a certain number of refugees be
many?
absorbed by the world.
How many?
Doesn't matter. Here's what we know. There's no way to absorb all the refugees who want to get out of that hell. The Middle East is a problem that has been created by a significant percentage of the residents of those countries. Here's where he was 100% right. When you tell people that you're going to step in and keep certain things from happening, and you don't, as the president did with the red line that was clearly not even a red line, it was no line at all, that is what feeds this. So yes, I want to absorb a certain percentage of refugees, but there is no possible way to absorb what may be as many as 80% of the people in the region who want to leave. You can't do that.
You want to absorb them here?
I want there to be a fair sharing of the burden across the world.
Sharing?
What that means is I want to function in the best spirit of America, which has always been a haven to people. But as I said, Steve, take yes for an answer.
I don't care if it's
the
true.
Bottom line is you can't solve this problem by absorbing refugees.
And Adam, are you gonna, is Brad or you going to check these people to make sure they're not Al-Qaeda or ISIS or turn into such things?
I'm surprised Donald Trump took this position. I'll tell you why. The thing that got him on the leaderboard to start off with, and on every single talk show, all the different news media coverage that he's been getting, is because he made such a big deal about building the wall along our borders with Mexico to keep illegal Mexicans from coming over, people from South America, from all those regions coming north. Now, after taking such a hard line on that, saying we're going to get the illegals out, people looked at him as a very harsh person with no kind of compassion or humanity, because some people do need to get into this country, and most people that come from Mexico work and do a legitimate job, but they're just here illegally. But he said so many of them had criminal backgrounds, etc. Now,
by the way, Adam, coming here illegally gives them a criminal background. But go ahead.
But now he wants to let people in from Syria, which to me is opening the door, as you said, Steve, to all potential terrorists that we have no real way of checking what their background is, who they are, family ties, friendship ties, so on. And we could be opening the floodgates to potential terrorists overwhelming this country.
Not only that, there's reports that some are converting to Christianity so that they're not suspected of being terrorists. And I just think we live in a different time, a dangerous time, and we have no need to bring in possible terrorists into this country. I'm sure there are plenty here already. Now, let's listen to Hillary's, what they're calling, apology.
Did you make a mistake?
I did. As I said, it was allowed, and there was no hiding it. It was totally above board. Everybody in the government I communicated with, and that was a lot of people, knew I was using a personal email. But I'm sorry that it has, raised all of these questions. I do take responsibility for having made what is clearly not the best.
All right, best choice. Is that an apology, Brad?
I have a very simple test. If my kids apologize to me for something like that, I can tell you it wouldn't be accepted. She would do much better to stop making fake apologies than to do what she just did. Either really apologize, really acknowledge what happened here, not, well, I'm sorry, but it was really okay, and people may have misunderstood it, but I'm sorry, the dog ate my homework, it was raining that day. I mean, I used the kid test, and she failed the Hirschfield kid test.
Adam, you know what? She also failed the Bill Clinton test, according to Mike Huckabee. She's not as slick as Bill, and, you know, nobody's buying this.
You know, that clip is a perfect example why Trump is surging in polls and she's declining. Because Trump, when he says something, whether people like it or not, he stands by it and doesn't back down. Like at the debates when they said, will you guarantee us that you won't run as a third-party candidate? And he refused to say that he wouldn't do it, and he took the heat for it. She should have come out from the very beginning if she really thought she was wrong and said that she apologized. And as Brad and you just pointed out, that's no apology. So either step up and eat crow and say, look, you know what? I made a big mistake. It is what it is. Let's all move on from this. But she's only doing this because she's been prepped to say this because the fallout is so bad. And maybe she hopes eating a little crumb will end up in her not getting indicted.
I
don't think it's going that way.
I think she should save the apology for the court.
She may have to.
All right, guys. Really appreciate it. Brad and Adam, thank you. Bill Donahue of the Catholic League is next, so don't go away. But first, Donald Trump continues to lead the polls. There's a new one out today. And, of course, Dr. Ben Carson is surging. We want to know what GOP candidate has your vote in the Newsmax poll. So go to newsmaxpolls.com. That's newsmaxpolls.com and cast your vote because we want to hear from you. Bill Donahue, we'll hear from him soon.